fast. I wonder what's over that.
Yeah, fuck it.
I wonder what's over that hill.
What was that?
Just like always, you back up in the mid for a little bit, sort of fight for those positions. You see them all came up on that line. Get ready to set the line. We'll make our way up to the front, let you know how things are setting up. But I don't think it's simple. Okay, so here we are early on. It looks like Toby Robinson from Great Britain out early in the lead. He's 172. '72, 172. Yeah. Oh, what's that, a 112? Is that a 112? And then no hair. I'm not gonna out here. Okay, swimmers settling out right now. We're just working on getting the numbers all set up so we can report out where the leaders are. Right now, it's a swimmer from Great Britain. Yeah, let's see if we get a number on here. Okay.
It looks like 8.
No, it's more than 1. Look at his arm.
Looking at his left shoulder blade.
Who's 112?
Mike Lewis, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, we're just settling out numbers right now, so bear with us for a second.
I'm just, I thought I was losing your radio right out of the gate here.
Okay, so we don't know who the British swimmer is yet. Okay. Toby Robinson. So Toby Robinson with the lead, but you can see again, remember what we can tell a lot just by looking at the shape of the pack. The pack is really, really tight, it's really condensed. What that means is we got a nice relaxed pace that we're starting off with. Okay, so we have David Heron, who's won this, been the national champion in the 5K in the past. He's now in the lead. He's found that clean water. Looks like we're separating out just a little bit. Okay, David Heron, Tennessee Aquatics out to a nice early lead. He's opened up about a body length lead on the rest of the field. Looking smooth out there, a little bit of a kick still in him. David has taken this race historically and really run with it in the past and won this with some nice gaps. So we'll see if that race strategy holds for him. But right now, He's certainly not holding anything back and really going for it. He's opening up even more of a lead with each stroke. So Herron in first, Tony Robinson, that's Toby Robinson in that second position. Too close, not too far. We need the Goldilocks. Okay, Herron really opening it up right now, setting a really strong pace early in the race. So right now, Sam, we can see the pace picking up out here. Herron in front of the two British swimmers in the 2-3 position. Right now we're working on getting the numbers. Numbers are a little bit more difficult to read out here at this stage. But definitely looks like Robinson in the 3rd position, Chip Peterson in the 4th position, Eric Hedlund in the 5th position. Eric Hedlund, the silver medalist in this event in Barcelona in 2013. If you think it's position right now. True Sweetser in the 7th position. Okay, Herron's out in front. He maintains the lead. Caleb Hughes from Britain in that 2nd position.
Yeah.
Tony Robinson in the 3rd position. Now moving up, Eric Hedlund. Hedlund and Peterson moving up. Hedlund's going to have a little bit of a buoy advantage as they come around. Herron's going to come around clean. He'll come through no problem. Hughes will come around 2nd. Also, he should come around clean. And as we go into this 3, 4, 5 position, Hedlund should have the advantage. So they came, not much of an advantage on that turn. Still, they came around 3 across. Hedlund slightly in the 3rd position. Robbins in the 4th. Peterson in the 5th. They're 3 across. Behind them, Taylor Abbott. True Sweetser out of Stanford. So a little bit more headwind now out here as compared to the women's race. Not anything too significant, but Herron in front. Hughes in 2nd. Hedlund now moving up into the 3rd position. Behind them, we have a pack. Chip Peterson now moving to the outside to get some clean water. Taylor Abbott next to him. Inside of him, Taylor Delk. True Sweetser there. Back behind them, we've got Richard Weinberger. So if you're watching on the feed in that 2nd possession, that's Hughes. He's lost his cap, so you can distinguish him. Okay, as we come around this buoy out here on the 1st lap, this far buoy at the end, Herron's going to have a clean pass through. Hughes will come back behind him, and we're going to kind of see how this group of 3 navigates their way through. Hedlund with the 3rd position advantage. So Herron out front, nice and smooth, setting a nice solid pace. You can see the group sort of spreading out. We're now long and skinny, meaning that David is setting a strong pace for the group. 5K, not a lot of room for jockeying. There's clearly plenty of room to do that, but obviously not as much as we have in a 10K. So typically we'll see the pace start off a lot faster, and we're not going to see as many tempo changes as we see in the longer races. Right now, it's David Heron in that lead position. Hughes in the second position. In 3 across, we got Abbott, Robbins, and Headland. Behind them, True Sweetster, Taylor Delk, and Chip Peterson. So watch what you're seeing in the pack right now. It's starting to condense up. Heron has slowed up just a bit. Everybody's kind of relaxing. Still a fast tempo, but not as fast as we saw down the back stretch. And you can see that really start to manifest as we get back into, say, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 positions as we're going 3 and 4 across. So Brendan Casey fans out there.
That's it, Crew! Keep it up, Crew! You can do it! Keep it up, Crew!
True Sweets are coached by the legendary swimmer Jeff Kostoff. And he was out there on the dock cheering him along. True, who's relatively new to open water swimming, is really demonstrated a lot of strength in the pools. Looked strong in the 10K for a lot of the race, but he's definitely right in there in this first lap. Right now, let's go back and count off our leaders. That is that's David Heron in the first position, Hughes in the second position. Third position, ever so slightly, we'll give it to Eric Headland. Robinson now moves up into that third position, just alongside of Taylor Abbott and Eric Headland. It took a little bit of an incidental contact there. That is undoubtedly going to happen. The referee's keeping a close eye for flagrant contact, things like pulling and punching, but we're not seeing any of that at this stage. We'll work to get you a time here as we come across the first lap. So we're through in just about 19 minutes. Clearly that a lot faster than what we saw during the 10K. And with 1 lap under his belt, there goes for some more kick from Heron. We'll see if he can open it up. Now his teammate from Tennessee, Taylor Abbott, working up right next to him. We'll see how these two potentially work together. It looked like in the 10K, the Tennessee guys really had a good feel for where each other were during the race. And we're trying to work together, much like what you see in cycling road races. So Heron rolling over on his back. I think maybe he's looking back at his teammate and saying, hey, maybe it's your turn to take over for a little bit. So we'll see how that happens. And certainly Taylor Abbott right there next to him and up a little bit in the lead. Okay, right out in front is the two Tennessee swimmers. Taylor Abbott, David Heron. Abbott with a slight lead behind them. Got the two British swimmers, Robbins and Hughes. Robbins in the red cap, Hughes without the cap. Next to him is Eric Hedlund. Taylor Delk lost his outside cap, but he's now swimming in that Florida cap. Inside of him, Richard Weinberger. So Canadians moving up as a team, sort of getting near one another. Again, it's let's keep an eye on how the teamwork plays out. We saw some of that going on with the women's race.
Go, Joe!
Okay, Robinson's moved up there, so now we got 3 o'clock cross leading with Heron, Abbott, and Robinson. Okay, Toby Robinson, Taylor Abbott, David Heron, 3 across. Right behind them, we have True Sweetser, Chip Peterson, Eric Hedlund, Hughes in the mix, Richard Weinberger, the bronze medalist from London in the 10K, also in the mix. They're pushing it a little bit tight on the inside here, so this is going to be a really interesting turn up here. Let's watch how the swimmers navigate this, because they are now bunching up, going wide. It looks like Heron will have the best turn advantage, but we'll see how that plays out. We are about 60 meters from this next turn. Keeping an eye now on Andrew Gemmel, who is moving up in the pack. Andrew, who traditionally has a 10K pace where he just holds back nice and relaxed. Obviously doesn't have as much time to make his move, but he has certainly moved up and is now much more in a position of contention than he was on the first lap. So let's keep an eye on Andrew. Just like we talked about, yeah, this is a really, really tight turn. Everybody gets through without any problem, but it definitely mixed up the group a bit. On the inside now, is that Richard? No, let's see who it is.
Help!
Looks like Richard Weinberger really got a nice advantage through that. Eric Hedlund now really picking it up. Eric Hedlund in the 2-3 position, but we've got 5 across. Weinberger, David Herron, Robinson, Abbott, and Hedlund are all 5 o'clock. Robinson now opening it up and taking the lead. Abbott going with them. Hedlund with clean water, farthest away from your screen in the white Canadian cap. Okay, Chris Deegan from Australia has moved into the 4th position. Up in the 1-2-3, we're going to go straight across in the red cap. Great Britain, that is going to be Robinson. Next to him, Taylor Abbott, Tennessee. Eric Hedlund is going to be in the right across from them, but farthest away from the boat on your screen in the white cap. And then Taylor Delk on the outside in that Florida cap. This pace is very, very quick. Big, big pack as we're going through this. It's hard to call anything different from that because we go back, starting with Chip Peterson, True Sweetser, and I'm just calling as best as I can see him. Looks like Hughes is in there. Gemmel, difficult to see, but we've got a group of about 5 or 6 across, just about 7 to 10 meters past the leaders. So it's still very, very close. Peterson with a nice clean line coming down the course on the inside. This could work to his advantage. We're still about okay, here comes Peterson on the inside, but your leader remains from Great Britain. That is Toby Robinson. Next to him is Taylor Abbott and Eric Hedlund in the 1-2-3. 1-2-3 again. Great Britain, that's Robinson, Taylor Abbott, Eric Hedlund. Coming up strong on the inside is Chip Peterson, the veteran. David Herron right next to him. They are starting to up the tempo, so we're starting to see it break up a little bit. Not much, still lots of striking zone, but we're moving fast now out here. We're about 5 or 6 across with Robinson with a slight lead. Closest to the boat is Chip Peterson. Next to him, David Herron, Taylor Abbott right up there next to Hughes. Eric Hedlund in that 3rd position. Robinson, if things hold out, is going to have the turn advantage. They're swinging a little bit outside right now, so right now it looks like Chip Peterson might, like we talked about, if he holds this line, he might get a little bit of a turn advantage as they come through 5 across. That makes the turn, obviously the person on the inside is going to have a little bit of a geometric advantage. So we're getting some calls from the referees for the guys to separate out. Really important that as you're swimming out here, you've got to keep composed. You can't let it get to you as people are touching your feet, as you're banging into each other. That can be really annoying, but you can't let that overtake you. Right now, Chip Peterson moving up strong and looks like he's really trying to gun to have the best turn position here. Chip Peterson, again, strong, looking like he's setting himself up very nicely for this next turn. Yeah, Peterson around clean. Peterson now takes the lead. Looks like Herron also had a nice, relatively clean position. A little bit of bunching up. You're going to expect that. Referees are watching, making sure that we don't have too much contact. Up on top, though, Taylor Delk has a nice line going out for this next buoy. This next buoy kind of swings out a little bit. It's not straight across. So they've got to keep their eye on that as they go out, and we saw that in the women's race. So now Eric Hedlund with the lead. Okay, so right now we've got Taylor Abbott, slight lead right next to Eric Hedlund. And it looks like Hughes is back in the mix right there, but 4 across now in the lead. We're going to go with Taylor Abbott, Eric Hedlund having a very slight fingertip lead over the pack. Outside of it is Hughes, and then Taylor Delk. So those 4 are setting them up. Then across there, we've got a group of 8 swimmers, 8 wide. True Southern California Freeway right there. We're going to see how this plays out. This is going to be very interesting. Brendan Casey closest to the boat. Next to him, David Herron. True Sweetser, Chip Peterson, Robinson, Gemmel. We're doing our best to get you all the numbers, but everybody's bunched up nicely. So we're 8 by 8 by 8 with 3 out in front. That's a fast pace that's being set, but you can see everybody's hanging in on this right now. We go, basically we're going 4 across, then we're going 8, 8, and then maybe back to maybe 9 in the next wave. So very, very highly contested group of about 20, 25 swimmers in this lead pack. Extremely tight. This is where you see the dynamic of the pack. The pack has a life of its own at this stage, and it's pulling, everybody's contributing to it, but they're all pulling each other through. Coming around first, remember this is the most acute turn, and it is Taylor Abbott who gets the advantage. Behind him, Eric Hedlund and Hughes. On the outside, that's Taylor Delk. So 3 across in the front with Robinson. Oh, Hedlund now. Hedlund now taking the lead. Not much of a kick, looking really smooth. Eric Hedlund opening it up, finding his own. Eric Hedlund now trying to set a pace. He's trying to spread it away. Brendan Casey coming up behind him now. Brendan Casey, second place finisher in the 10K. That mid group behind them is a little tightly bunched. Taylor Abbott sort of not in a very advantageous. He's getting blocked out, so he's trying to find his own. He swings out to the outside, pushes his teammate David Herron with him. In the lead, that's Eric Hedlund right behind him. Right behind him, we've got Robinson from Great Britain, Taylor Delk in the 3rd position, Brendan Casey in the 4th position, and Andrew Gemmel in that 5th position. And then we got the 2 Tennessee swimmers, Abbott and Herron, right next to one another. True Sweets are in there too behind them. Yeah. So the 2012 Olympic bronze medalist in the 10K, Richard Weinberger, is kind of setting a line of his own. So we've got kind of two distinct lines setting up with this big pack. One led by Headland, closest to the shore. Robinson behind him. Then we've got Casey and Delk side by side. David Herron, his teammate. Taylor Abbott, Andrew Gemmel there too. True Sweets are in that position. Now they're starting to close back up. Coming around here next to the dock, the feed station for the 10K, the point at which the athletes are closest to the coaches and spectators. They're getting a little push. Eric Headland out in front. Behind him is Robinson from Great Britain. Then we've got three, and that's Taylor Delk, Brendan Casey, David Herron. But right now, it's Eric Headland out in front. I had an opportunity to talk with Eric after the 10K. He was not satisfied with his race, but he was committed to come back, and he regained his composure. We talked a little this morning, and he's sure excited about it, and looks like he's out there having a really good time. As we come through, we're closing up this second lap. It's Eric Headland in front in the second position. That's Robinson from Great Britain, then three across, closest to the shore in the Florida cap. That's Taylor Delk in the middle, from with the Virginia cap. That's Brendan Casey, the second place finisher in the 10K. Next to him, David Herron. And then coming up closest to the boat in the Stanford cap, that's Taylor Sweetser. Behind him is Gemmel and Taylor Abbott. So still lots of excitement going on back here. And still plenty of room as we're coming up with one lap left to go. We'll give you a time reading to see what our split is for this, what is undoubtedly a very, very fast second lap.
That's right, folks. Quality race going on here as the guys wrap up circuit number 2 and 3 in the 5K Open Water Championship. The pack is really fractured out over the last half lap.
So it's about the same pace for that second lap. Eric Headland looking nice and smooth as he holds his lead position. Everybody getting comfortable right now. So we saw some speed. It looks like tempo slowed just a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. But right now, even with this, what appears to be a bit of a slowing tempo, it's Headland and Robinson that have kind of moved away a little bit from the pack. Behind them, the group of three is going to be Herron, Brendan Casey, and Taylor Delk. Coming up on the inside closest to the boat is True Sweetser, so we're going to watch him as he comes up looking like he's making a move on the inside on Herron. So that's now a group of four across behind our two leaders. So right now, one thing that's happening back in the pack is it looks like Andrew Gemmel is making a move on the outside because we've got maybe three across now. Headland in front, Robinson in that second position, Taylor Delk's moved into the third, and it looked like Sweetser and Gemmel are now in that five across line trying to make a move. Herron now comes on the inside, tries to find some clean water. That's the challenge when you get back into those positions, is you can definitely get boxed in, and as we've talked about several times, that could really be to your disadvantage when you go through the buoy turns.
Just a reminder, when you are top 8 ladies to report to the award staging area.
Another swimmer we want to watch that's sort of making a move right now is Michael Brenniger from the Mission Viejo Matadors. He's kind of come from deeper in the pack and is coming up now about into the 7 position. Right behind Taylor Delk. Andrew Gemmel now has moved into that 3rd position. Andrew is definitely somebody we will want to keep an eye on, particularly as we close the race. Andrew, who has been swimming the majority of this race as he does without very little kick, so very smooth. He's going to likely have a lot to give when it comes to the final sprint. But right now, this is Eric Hedlund out in front in the 2nd position. It remains Robinson from Great Britain, Gemmel in the 3rd position. Coming back 4 side by side. We're going to give a little bit of advantage for 4 to David Heron. And then we're going to go to Taylor Delk. And then we go into a line of 3. And that is going to be True Sweetser and Taylor Abbott. We're going to get a number reading for you here to see. Oh, that's Bruder. Okay. So Michael Bruder now, he's moving up as we talked about. He's lost that yellow distinctive Mission Viejo cap, so he's in that pack next to Sweetser, Abbott, and he's coming up on Delk right now, looking strong. Okay, looks like Heron now closest to the boat. He's trying to stomp on it a little bit. Gemmel now has slid into that 2nd position, taking over from Robinson. Hedlund holding on to the lead. Hedlund stroke looking nice and relaxed. Again, not much kick. I am going to predict we're going to see another really interesting finish here, with David Heron really making a move, actually kind of a little bit on the inside, could have a bit of a turn advantage. So we'll watch and see how that plays out here on this next turn. Okay, Hedlund with the lead. Like I said, we have Heron had a nice advantage for that turn, so he popped into the 2nd position. He's coming up on Hedlund right now and looking to kind of take over. So stroke by stroke, he is gaining. And these two are nearly side by side. Andrew Gemmel in that 3rd position, just sort of riding a nice draft right there. Robinson behind them. Starting to bunch up a little bit in the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions in that group. I'm just going to call out some names. We've got Brenniger from Mission Viejo, True Sweetser, Chip Peterson, Taylor Abbott, Taylor Delk, Brendan Casey, all of them making a move. Heron kind of getting up on it. Heron now has the lead over Hedlund just by a fingertip. Those two are now swimming side by side. Each of them breathing opposite. Hedlund a left side breather, Heron a right side breather, but they're certainly well aware that they've got each other on each other's side. Gemmel now executing a little bit more change, kind of moving out a little bit on the other side of Hedlund. trying to come up. He has a little bit of a pack advantage where he's at. Pack advantage over Robinson, who's a little bit boxed in right now. Robinson's going to have to come to the outside if he wants to move up here. But both of them seem content right now, sort of rolling through and sitting in the 3-4 position behind our two leaders that are side by side. Eric Hedlund regained a little bit of a lead. Heron right next to him. So those two, we got a 2x2 in the 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, and then we slide back into a 5, 6, 7, 8 line. So again, lots of activity, lots of dynamic in this pack. And Heron starts to execute a tempo change, opening up a little bit of a lead, moves inside of Hedlund. So David Heron now definitely has control of the lead. Right behind him on his feet, however, we have Robinson and Hedlund. So those two right in there. Gemmel continues to make a move, inching in slowly, stroke by stroke, as he comes up next to him. Let's keep a close eye on Andrew. We're starting to see a little bit more kick. I talked earlier about how he's notable for having a lot of conservation with his legs, but he's brought them into use right now as the tempo definitely picks up. Okay, Heron continues to set a very strong pace out here as we come along the turn buoy that'll take us into our final short leg of this course. Right behind him, Eric Hedlund. Andrew Gemmel moving up in that 3rd position. Robinson takes the 4th position. Okay, so we have Heron up in that first position now. Andrew Gemmel has now slid into the second position. Third, Headland. Robinson in the fourth position. Right now, as I'm seeing it, it looks like this group of five, that's where it's going to happen. We're starting to separate it out. So it's going to come from this group of five, and in fact, I think it's going to be Aaron, Gemmel, Robinson, and Kevin. We'll see yeah, Hughes could stay in there. It's just questionable whether he's looking like he's doing okay right now. Okay, stand by. Okay, coming around the last front stretch now. Heron and Gemmel really pushing strong. Headland's now in that third position. Robinson and Hughes, the two British swimmers, are in the 4-5 position. But definitely starting to see a lot more kick. In fact, here comes Andrew Gemmel on the inside closest to the boat, right alongside David Heron. Okay, Gemmel has now taken the lead just by a fingertip over Heron. Headland still right in there. Headland in a really nice position for conservation as he tries to get right in between these two swimmers. If there's an ultimate sweet spot, it's right on the hip up the middle, but there's not enough space in there, so looks like Headland has moved closer to the shore, and it looks like Heron tried to box him out just a little bit. So now Headland's trying to move up in the middle. Heron's closing it back. So it looks like the Americans are trying to hold it out a little bit, with Headland trying to come up in between. Gemmel in the lead. Heron in that second position. Headland in the third position. Strategically now, Headland trying to find that space where he can come up, and he wants to be with these guys as they come around this final turn. We're coming up on the dock right now, so we're going to be really close to what you're going to see us on the shore as they come around this final fluorescent yellow-green salmon buoy. And it's definitely going to be a big sprint that's going to take this thing as we come along. It's Heron, Gemmel, Eric Headland, Hughes and Robinson, two Americans, Canadian, two British. Gemmel right now with a slight lead over Heron. It's really going to be about lining up as we watch this close out. Gemmel in the yellow cap, or Gemmel in the blue cap. Gonna watch as they make this left-hander. They've got to make the left-hander. They can't go on the inside of it. All of them come through clean. Oh, Heron got a little bit of a pinch. And now here comes the final sprint as each of them try to find their position. Watch the legs, watch these legs, watch how the rooster tail starts to kick in, and here comes Gemmel and Heron. They are side by side punching through. It looks like Robinson is going to try to push Hedlund out to the outside. Hedlund and Robinson in the 3-4 position right now. It's Gemmel and Heron in that lead position.
Folks, come on down on shore and join the finish for the men's 5K National Championship. What a race we've got. Get him home.
Gemmel with the lead, so here comes Gemmel, slight lead, Gemmel pushing, watch that rooster tail. They have been sprinting it, they've got about 70 meters left to go. They're gonna close it out strong. Heron and Gemmel side by side. Gemmel inching away ever so slightly. Heron staying right with them. Still plenty to go, and can't call it yet. All the way in, right behind them though, we have Robinson in that 3rd position, Hedlund in the 4th, Hughes in the 5th. Right now, Gemmel with a slight advantage as we lead as we push towards the finish. Heron staying right with them. All the way strong, here we go, last 10 meters. Andrew Gemmel really pushing on a push. Heron staying right with him. It's going to come right down to the final touch. It's going to be very, very close. Who's going to get there first? Oh, very slightly. It looks like it was David Heron, ever so slightly. Andrew Gemmel in 2nd position unofficially.
It looked like David Heron may have had a perfect finish. It was very close, just grazing the banner. We'll have to double check the official results. Unofficially, it looked like David Heron found a way to get his fingertip on the banner just ahead of Andrew Gemmel. What a surge there by David Heron of Tennessee. Still too close to call at this point. What a finish to the men's 5K National Championship. Woo, that was big time. And look at these guys as they climb out on the dock. Not a lot of energy left here. They left it in the lake there, guys. Let's give those boys a round of applause. What a race from start to finish. It was David Heron right out of the gate on the 1st lap. Settled back in on the 2nd lap. Andrew Gemmel, along with several other swimmers, surging towards the front. And we'll wait for the official results to give us the winner. I salute you, gentlemen. That was a heck of a race. And as our other swimmers make their way through the chute and onto the dock, give them a round of applause. Great efforts from top to bottom. Outstanding. Guys, be careful stepping off that dock. The water's shallow.
So that is something.